Welcome to the Game of Risk, everyone. I am your host, OliveXC, a top 10 Grandmaster in this game. Today, we are doing Throwdown Thursday, where I team up with Poorly Played Risk and review a 1v1 map to help her and you get better at the game of Risk. Poorly Played Risk, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Olive. I'm Mallory from Poorly Played Risk, and I am really excited to learn where to cap on this map because that is the mistake I've made every time I've played this, is capping in the wrong spot.
We are playing on Simple World, 120 seconds because it's a tutorial. Fog on, blizzards on. We can see the options here. North America is a +3, South America a +2, Africa +2, Australia +1, Asia +5, Europe a +3. I'm going to cap here because again my timing a little low right here. But if you notice, we have a map in the upper right hand corner. This is a disconnection map. This shows you how connected an individual territory is and how connected those territories are. An example would be the 5 on the United States. This is an orange 2, which implies that it's connected to Central America and Canada. But in addition to that, here's the Central America, Canada. But in addition, Canada is connected to Greenland, Russia, and Guyana. So there we go. There's the 5 connections. You can do that with any territory on the board. In capitals, the goal is to take over all territories on the board in the first 3 turns, or to take over your opponent's capital after the 3rd turn. So you want to have your capital be in a very strong strategic spot of the board. In this type of blizzard setup, in general, the best blizzard location is mainland Europe. Do you know why mainland Europe's so good, Poorly Played Risk?
It's really connected and can get kind of anywhere.
Yes, because the only way you can break mainland Europe is by attacking in Scandinavia. So for that reason, that's why mainland Europe's a pretty strong pick if you're not sure what to do with individual blizzards. So where do you want to cap?
Oh, I'm thinking 2 places, but I'm really not sure. I'm thinking either North Africa or Greenland.
Greenland would not be good. But
okay.
You pick something quickly. You're about to run out of time. Okay, you pick North Africa right here.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because there are potentially some opportunities to hit you a little bit.
Yeah. Ooh, I panicked. Should I have capped inside of your Europe?
Well, not inside the Europe.
Okay.
An important thing about this map is the blizzards are generally going to be game changing. They are going to block off certain areas of the board. And no tutorial is going to teach you what blizzards should allow you to do in an individual location. Simple World is about creativity and playing with the blizzards that you have in order to build an advantage.
Okay.
So I'm going to take this territory here because as player 1, I always go first. If you don't stop me from getting a continent, I will just hit you.
Yeah, that's a forcing pick.
Yes, that's a very important principle. I'm now going to prevent you from getting a continent because it's a 1 border area. It's only connected to 1 spot, so it's a strong area of the board. And in general, Poorly Played Risk, as player 2, your goal is you want to try to have, in general, 2 stacks. You want to have generally 1 stack on your army, where your capital is going to be, generally around 12 to 15 troops, and then an ancillary stack somewhere on the board where my troops can't access you, and then using those extra troops, use that to build an advantage for yourself. So you selecting the Central America region right here is, I think, a wonderful choice for yourself. Yeah, by selecting this spot here, it's only connected to 1 area, the Guyana's. And that's just going to allow you to attack more around the board. So I'm going to try to be selecting other areas. So I'm going to select this one here. And yeah, if you don't select that one, I get a +1. sometimes you can just take that, and that is because if I were to take that and just get a 1 extra troop, that's not really the end of the world. As a player 2, you're going to be getting +3 as you're going second, and that's not going to be making as big of a deal for yourself. So now we'll continue selecting our territories. You're going to try to find a way to isolate yourself and build an advantage. Yep, so you've taken over 1 territory. You didn't take Brazil, which is good, because if you're going to cap in North Africa, you want to try to take over as much of the board as you can for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so I took over the Canada region right here. And this is because, again, I'm trying to keep myself I'm more isolated. I'm now taking over Russia. And this is because I can now potentially hold the entire top side of the board. And it's very far away from your continent. On very, very standard blizzards, sometimes Russia can be a very strong cap choice because you can always break the mainland Europe area. Scandinavia can also be a strong choice. Yep. And now you will get the last pick.
Ooh, I don't want either of these.
Well, that's why I'm giving them to you.
Rude. Ooh, which one's... I guess this one's the least worst choice.
Yep. So poorly played risk we'll see what you decide to do here. As this is a tutorial, I'm going to play this in a very standard format because I want to show the potential of what can happen if player 2 tries to place their troops in an individual area. So I'm just going to place everything in mainland Europe. So you placed 14 troops up above in Greenland. However, you knew that I was probably going to cap in mainland Europe because that's the best area of the map normally. You can also see that since I'm connected to everywhere on the board, I can attack you to get the attacker's advantage. A better spot would have been to put your troops in the Guianas, because then you could have tried to hold South America with a 2-border guard.
Okay.
Yeah, or you could have placed everything in North Africa and then just attacked Brazil and then the Andean states right here. Yep, North Africa would go to Brazil, then here, and then you just leave a stack right there.
Okay, I see what you mean about needing to be creative on this map.
Yeah, and if you notice, as well on this map, I will just cap quickly, is that if I were to try to reach you, I would have to go from my mainland Europe towards this area, more like the China area, towards this spot. But now I can't reach you because this spot is blocking me off from reaching here.
Right. Oh, man. I didn't even see that.
Yep. So one mistake I probably should have made is I should have probably taken the Western Australia to give myself more options and flexibility. But as it is, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit you. I'm going to get the attacker's advantage on you and probably gain some troops. So I did gain a couple of troops right here. And now I'm going to defend my continent right here, which you don't have access to. This is the dangers of capping in North Africa like you did, because now it's unlikely that you can be able to break my bonus.
Right.
Some other things that you can do is, and I have this capital conquest calculator on the board. I'll just move this image down here so it's not blocking anything here. What you can do with this capital conquest calculator is on any given turn, you can see the odds of an individual attack being successful or not. So if you were to decide to have blitzed me on turn 1, it'll be a 31 v 18. We see the odds of this are around 51%, which is 50-50. However, even if that is successful, that I would still have a 9 available. You would most likely lose additional troops, and it's overall just a very, very risky play. You should generally try not blitzing on the first turn. The other thing you could have done, and you can look at the math on this right here, is you could have done a 9v9 trying to hit me here. And you can see those odds right here would be around 50%. But you need to also have the remaining troops left. So again, it's about half and half if you're able to get through or not. So you can see, and this is a big part of my game, I like to try to teach in these tutorial videos, you're always wanting to look at the math and the potential options about what you want to do. So now at this point, all I'm going to do, because I'm getting like extra troops in you, is again, we're just going to get the attacker's advantage. I'm going to hit you right here, break you. Again, just get a 100% roll, gain some extra troops.
Oh my goodness. That was
This is a power balance blitz. Sometimes you get bad rolls, but the majority of times you get good rolls. Now I attack this area. I'm just going to go back to my capital. And again, I'm always looking at the odds right here about what you want to do. I'll turn this back on right here. And we can see the odds of this right here. It was like a 25v23-ish or so. You can see the odds right there, very, very low. So again, not worth it for you to be going for it. Always keep your calculator, always look at the math, always think about what's the best way that you can be developing an advantage for yourself. And now, yeah, we can see Poorly Played Risk. If you notice, she is only all of her modes of attack going through Brazil. If we look at the map right here, this is an important point about capitals as well that I'd like to share with everyone. So we can see right here that her spot right here in North Africa can only attack two ways, right? It can attack towards Brazil, it can attack towards the Middle East, or it can go upwards and hit my capital. Obviously, she can't hit my capital, right? Unless it's like a one-turn hit. So now her capital is essentially blocked. That's a huge point, like right there. The other thing is so because of that, she's almost in a Hail Mary situation where she has to hit me. So one thing that I would try to do here, looking at this, if I were to pull up my capital conquest calculator a little bit, is if I were to look at the overall odds right here, right? So you're right now you are at 22. The most you can have is 27. Again, always look at your odds. Always consider the math. The most you can have is 27. If I have something like 20 left, that's going to be 25%, and that's pretty good. If I just make it 22, that's 17, 18% if you were to try to blitz me, and those are very favorable odds that I would take. The odds that allow you to reach good equilibrium for player 1 and player 2 is a 66% odds if you are player 1, and 33% if you are player 2. The reason why that is the case is you get 1 point for winning going first in tournament play and 2 points for winning going second. The expected value of how many points you will be getting would be 0.66 as player 1, because you would be winning 66% of the time right here. And as player 2, if you attack with 33%, again, your expected points would be 0.66. It's equal right here. So you made a small mistake there, Poorly Played Risk. You should have attacked Scandinavia first and then Greenland. By attacking from Russia to Canada, you had to attack Greenland and Scandinavia.
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
I don't think I could have broken both, though. I only
You
had
could have broken both.
left. Dang it.
Yeah, it's just so now again I'm constantly looking at the math, and I'm trying to look at the options right here of what she's overall trying to do with the attacks. We can see right here, looking at this again, pulling up my calculator right here. So the amount she has a set, the amount right here is 28. The most you can have is 28. If she turns in a set, she can have 32. So if I leave my capital with around 27, these odds right here are very, very low, and that's only if she has the set. As As player one, I want the game to either give myself an overwhelming advantage, like we see here, or I want to make the game end earlier with a cap hit. Another thing I like to keep in mind is how often does a set occur? And a set's going to actually occur pretty often on this map. This map is very, very small. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 territories on this board. So for that reason, wild cards will hold up more often. You could be getting a set around 42% of the time. So it's very common to have those early sets.
Wow. I actually do not have a set on 4. Did you have a set on 4, out of curiosity?
I did, but I'm saving it.
Okay. I just thought it would be funny if neither of us did.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the right opportunities for myself. So again, I get to keep breaking, and now look.
Oh, no.
Now you can't get a card. That's the risk of keeping taking 90% rolls right here. Now I have to trade in.
I am done for.
Yep. So now all I need to do is just take one card right here. I'm going to leave my capital around a 29 to give yourself very, very low odds to take it. Take over an area of the board right here. Put the rest right here again, giving yourself low odds. Attacking here, and now you basically can take very, very bad odds right here. If I were to calculate this, it was a 28 over 33. Again, always look at the odds. Always look at the calculator. 28 over 33. We can see right here, 1%. I will always take 1% odds right here. So again, you're hitting a little bit, but you can see right here I'm getting an overwhelming advantage. Now, I have a set on 3. I can trade in if I want and get the 6 trade. If I already get the 6 trade, so right now I'm getting 44 troops. I would have a 50 over 25. So it would be 50 over 25. I'll just show this right here. The odds are very high, 70%. I could go for the blitz right here, but I think I have a very strong advantage right now over poorly played Risk because of how the game is developing for myself. Yeah. So for that reason, I am just going to continue. I'm just making some attacks for myself.
Now, Olive, in all of the times that you were playing caps 1v1s in public lobbies, did you ever have somebody take a crazy cap roll where you're like, oh, what are you doing? But then it worked out for them?
Yeah. I've done hundreds of games on Simple World caps. There's always a small one. If you do hundreds of games, 1 to 2% of the time, somebody's going to get very, very lucky on you. That's not bad luck. That's just math. And we can see right here that regardless of what happens, good pathing, by the way, right there. Let's see if you get it. Poorly Played Risk also did a nice thing where she was doing a slow roll because you get higher odds by doing that. Only thing is I would have attacked the 3 to try to break my North America because, again, I'm still getting the extra troops here.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I forgot.
Always try to break the biggest capitals possible for yourself.
You could have gone up from the south. I totally didn't even think of that.
So all I'm doing right here is I'm just looking at the balance, seeing how many troops there are. I'm pulling up my calculator at any given time to see what are the odds here. So if you have a turn in an 8 set, it would be 34 and plus 5, 39. If you're at 39 over 38, again, I'm always looking at the odds. 39, 38. Odds right there are under 5%. This is more than fine for me. So because
will you link that calculator in these videos?
Yep, that's going to be in the description if everyone's interested in it. But this is kind of like how like my style is like right here. I'm constantly looking at the math and what the available options are. Now poorly played risk, like she could have a set on 3, but if she doesn't, just has very tough odds for herself. Now she has to win a 6v3. She got a good roll, but again, I'm just getting a lot of extra troops right now.
Yep. No, this is nothing I can do, really.
You can believe in yourself.
I do believe in myself, but you know what? You have taught me that the power of math, the numbers don't lie.
Yep, now I
Wouldn't
have
you
to
know
trade
it?
in.
I don't have a trade on 4 again.
That's very, very unlikely. You should consider getting better luck.
Yeah,
I
people
could do
who
a
watch my
47 over
videos
29, but
know
again,
I don't ever
I
have
have
a
such
trade.
a huge lead that there's no reason for me to be pushing it.
The person who's in first place really does need to kind of be conservative in a way, because if you do get one of those, 1 in 100 bad cap rolls, like you've essentially lost the game and you could have won it.
I wouldn't call it that. So, and by the way, right now what I'm doing right here is just trying to almost card block you from getting cards of any kind. Because as a game gets lower, if you lose the ability to get cards, you just start running out of options for yourself.
Now, Olive, I'm trusting you not to break my continents, please. Be a bro. I need these 3 troops.
How about no?
What? Wow. No mercy.
Yeah, and we can just see right here but your point before about being conservative, that's what I call like the loser, like kind of like the gambler's fallacy of, oh, if I take a gamble and lose, like no, it's just math. You're gonna have some very unlucky rolls, but you're gonna have some very lucky rolls over the long term. If you're making moves that are giving yourself the best possible chance of victory, you need to take those rolls every time. The reason why I am waiting right here from attacking is because I have a good lead over you at this time. I have all of these extra troops. Kill loss ratio is in my favor by a little bit. And at any time, I can eventually go for a hit on your capital to try to get the win. And I'm constantly trying to see, can I get that 100% roll on you? So again, you got +2 there, which helps. But you can see when capping in North Africa, it just gave you very, very little options for yourself.
Big time.
Good, good. You attacked South Africa. That's a correct move. And you left your troops there. Also a good move. So now the bonus is at 12, 57. I can do a 69 over 30. So let's turn on the calculator again. So if I do a 69 over 30, again, I can get, a 100% roll right there. That is so freaking fitting.
This is the perfect way to end the video. You got to do it now.
Yes. And guys, I hope you all enjoyed this content right here. If you're enjoying these videos, please consider subscribing. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. I'm just going to end this off on a 69. And that is OliveXC and Poorly Played Risk signing off.